He's got the whole world in his hands. 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 He's got the wind and rain in his hands. He's got the wind and rain in his hands. He's got the wind and rain in his hands. He's got the whole world 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 in his hands. He's got the little bitty baby in his hands. He's got the little bitty baby in his hands. He's got the little bitty baby in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got you and me, brother, in his hands. He's got you and me, brother, in his hands. He's got you and me, brother, in his hands. He's got the whole world 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 in his hands.
each flight, we like to regale our passengers on how hot air ballooning all got started. Let's hold the toast. Great. Yeah, so let's take it back. It all started back in France, 1783. These two guys named the Montgolfiers, right? Now the Montgolfiers, they're the roll paper manufacturers. And one day, when they're burning the little scraps of paper, they noticed particles rising up with the smoke. You guys got to thinking, right, man, I wonder if we could build something to capture this smoke if it'll lift up off the ground, right? So I made a little 4-foot paper balloon, held it up over a smoky fire, filled it full of smoke, let go. Sure enough, that bad boy lifted off. They got thinking about it again, like, man, I wonder if we can build something big enough we can get in the thing, right? Slip the old surly bonds of earth. So they did. They began construction of a balloon that held 43,000 cubic feet of air. And if you need a reference, the balloon we're in today held 180,000 cubic feet of air. Wow. So it's a little bit smaller, but this thing was magnificent. It was a paper balloon. Had a silk overlay wrapped around it, had faces painted all over it, swirls and curls and streamers. This thing was beautiful. It was magnificent, right? And about the time they got this thing all set up and completed, King of France heard what they're up to, right? King of France, he calls them into the courts. He goes, listen, you guys are the royal paper manufacturers. I'm not going to allow you to hop in this crazy contraption you just built, because he was convinced they'd die if they would, right? But he goes, listen, I got me a couple criminals. So I was going to sharpen up the blade on the guillotine, use it on these guys, but if you guys want to, you know, put them in your balloon, just clean them up wherever you find them, because he's convinced they would die. He's like, you know, you can have them. But the Montgolfiers were like, they didn't want the honor, the very first flight ever, to go to a couple crew guys. I was just like, ouch, man. So they came up with the grand idea to send animals on the first balloon flight. And they sent up a sheep, a rooster, and a duck. And the king was right, because the rooster did become the first ballooning casualty, because it was killed in the impact and landing by the sheep. No. Wasn't holding on in two places, didn't have his knee slightly bent. So I came in for their landing. That sheep lost its footing and stepped on the poor rooster, and the rooster died.
Poor rooster.
Poor rooster. But there's another casualty that day, you guys. You see, it was the balloon itself. Now you can imagine, 1783, the French peasants who had never seen anything in the sky before look up, they see this thing coming at them. That's bellowing smoke out of it. It's got faces painted all over it and making animal sounds, right? These guys did the human thing and went and grabbed their pitchforks and slayed this creature. Absolutely destroyed this thing, right? And about the time the first chase crew arrived on horseback, little Monty Python reference in there. They were super disappointed to find their balloon had been totally destroyed by the peasants, right? But they were happy to find a live sheep and a live duck. So with that, they could prove to the king, hey, we can survive the flight if we can keep these peasants from coming out and killing us at the end of the flight. And that's how champagne got involved in the sport of ballooning. See, back then, champagne had the king's label on it, something very recognizable. So when these guys would go out for their flight, they'd come on in, pull out their champagne, and the peasants would know that they were indeed earthlings and not some sort of outer space creature, right? So let's fast forward 3 years later, 1786. The Irish, they got involved in the sport of ballooning, and the Irish, they were watching all these Frenchmen get up, fly their contraptions around, and legitimately drink before noon. Being good Irishmen, they're ready to sign up for that activity. And they're the ones who wrote the balloonist prayer. So that's how we end all of our flights, with a little prayer and a little toast. This one's mine. Put that right here. If you guys just want just juice, let me know.
Save it. Save some.
Champagne. But we got modern conveniences today. We have, you know, propane with onboard heater and all that, and I'm certainly not going to kiss this ground. It's gross. So we're going to go right into the prayer and the champagne. The winds have welcomed you with softness. The sun has blessed you with his warm hand. You have flown so high and so well that God has joined you in laughter and sent you gently back to the loving arms of Mother Earth. Cheers, you guys. Welcome to the drive-by ding on everybody here. Yeah. I haven't done this in a while. Cheers, cheers, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, cheers. And just so you guys know, right here on the table, we got little flight certificates. It's got a place for your name and today's date. And it's also got the little prayer on there. You can say that before you fly next time, say that afterwards. We also have t-shirts there at $20. And we got donuts floating around here. They're $19 a piece.
Thank you.